Hi everyone, welcome to part one of my summary of learning. I've decided to end this course with a few videos. Not because it's something I'm experienced with or that I'm really that comfortable with. It's actually quite the opposite. I've never done a vlog before or even created a video. But if there's one thing that I've learned throughout this course is that in order to gain knowledge and understanding, one needs to explore different opportunities and push themselves outside their comfort zones. So here I am, sharing with you, completely out of my comfort zone, creating a video of myself talking to my lowly computer that will inevitably be shared to the world. So, like so many of you, my thoughts on sharing at the beginning of this course were pretty obsolete. And it was a common theme or thread, I think, that was going through our cohort at the time. And here's a few thoughts of some others that I would love to share with you because they really did resonate with me and made me feel like I wasn't alone out there. So George wrote a good blog on what you do with other kids' toys and said that that was him and he was more than willing to share in other people's resources, but less willing to share his own. And Chris wrote a great blog, Sharing versus the Competitive Advantage, and that sharing his knowledge with his peers could be signing his walking papers, because where he sat on the seniority list would inevitably, possibly create a job loss for him if he shared too much of, the basic knowledge that he knew with Moodle and with his program right now. And then Melanie wrote, which is one that I think was more common than not with all of us, many teachers have reservations about sharing because they don't see their work as being worthy. This was a big thing for me, and the video that Derek Sivers posted about obvious to you, amazing to others was one that really resonated with me at the beginning and kind of got my blogging voice going. So that was something that I think most of us kind of can reiterate with and relate to with Melanie. And then Sandra wrote that, our cohort has some amazing people in it and some great ideas. And if it wasn't for sharing with our cohort, some of these things would have, not some, but most of these things would have never been out there. And so she just said, the same thing, reiterating what Melanie said, that she was feeling a bit intimidated by the quality and the frequency of the posts and comments from our cohort. So I guess really the common thread at the very beginning of the course was, about sharing was that people either just didn't want to share, maybe they didn't know how to share, but the big one really that I think a lot of us took out of it was that we just didn't believe that what we had was worth contributing to the knowledge of the group. And as we moved through the weeks and individually delved into, different topics that piqued our interest, it was very apparent that our journeys were leading us all in many different directions. I traveled into the craziness of copying and copyright and big corporations wanting to control the culture, the doings of Aaron Schwartz and Lawrence Lessig, and what creativity really means and the massive importance of sharing. Throughout my journey, a wonderful surprise came my way, and that was Twitter. And as George would say, I very hesitantly showed up late to the barbecue. But I have to be honest, I'm proud to say that nonetheless, I think I crowd surfed and mingled with Twitter to the best of my abilities. I didn't share this, what I would call my roadside pullout of Twitter on my mashup video, but it had such a big impact on me, and I feel it really does describe the open and the sharing part of this course and social media that I couldn't leave it out and not talk about it. And it's a tool I think that is going to continuously be used and added to and built upon. And it's a great way to build your network. And I'm really glad that, I guess you could say, I took that leap and jumped into Twitter and devoted some time to that. even though there was a lot of other things going on within the course. And I think even though the course intended or encouraged us to use Twitter, it was definitely not a black and white tool, I think, as it was meant to be. And following this path for me was a big hurdle, and I think it was for many of us. And some moved from the disconnected nomad to the collaborative learner, while others possibly periodically made their way from one box to another interchangeably, depending on what was going on in their lives or really how they explored the usefulness of it. And I just want to give a thumbs up to everyone in the cohort. I know some of you really dove into Twitter and were able to explore that learning network and share with us as a cohort, both in Twitter and then also on Google+. Some of you shared some helpful hints for Twitter that I myself was greatly appreciative for. But I also want to thank those of you who courageously traveled outside their comfort zone and attempted Twitter as best as you could. Throughout our journeys, I guess many of us have developed new perspectives on what it means to share, and really what you got out of this course. And Edward wrote something that I really liked, because he just said, although I would have liked to have the opportunity to take time to explore a lot of the resources and tools that have been shared, he didn't see that that was where this course was taking him. And I applaud him for saying that. And it was very fresh to see that, because it was a tough job following all the different links. And it wasn't the same journey for Edward as it was for me. And so to be able to share that, Edward, I just want to say thank you. And on that note too, many of us had what I would call the perspective shifts, from where we started from thinking about sharing to the end of the course and acknowledging that what you contributed was worthy. So here's the thing that Sandra wrote that I really liked, and it was a quote from Mother Teresa. We ourselves feel that what we are doing is just a drop in the ocean, but the ocean would be less because of that missing drop. Carol also wrote, take what you want, offer what you want, when you want, and where you want. I love that saying, Carol. And the one that really stuck with me was the one that said, I just need to believe that what I have to offer is amazing and should be shared. And I think that is what we all need to take out of this course. And the one that I'm going to end off with is what Melanie said. Sometimes when you put stuff out there, really cool and interesting things happen, and sharing your resources will open unexpected doors and provide surprising opportunities. And this is what resonated with me and how I created my part 2 of my summary of learning, which was my mashup video. It totally removed me from my comfort zone. It tested every last nerve I had. I have to say I have a much greater understanding of and empathy, I should say, for my students now. When things go wrong, frustrating, and how hard it can be to work with new technology, this is exactly how I felt throughout this entire process. My mashup has taken me countless hours and countless attempts. The version that you will be watching is actually my 3rd version of my mashup, as the first one I lost to the cyber world when I was trying to upload it to YouTube, and I had to start all over again. I have to say I tried to keep a strong outer appearance, or at least I think I was trying to, but inside I was really quite a wreck. So I have now watched it countless times, and I feel that I probably could have done a better job, but with that being said, I am super proud that I was able to produce the video I did, even if it isn't quite up to my standards, but again, that's just me. But going back to what Melanie said in her quote, this mashup wouldn't have happened if someone from previous years wouldn't have shared their videos online and let me watch them. So this video has also given me the opportunity to share, and hopefully it will help someone else in the future. So with that, in the words of others, I give to you my part two, my mashup. And in the spirit of openness, take what you want from my video, mash it up again, make it better, or simply follow me on my journey and enjoy the show. Thank you.